everybody, welcome to Tall Oak Homestead. My name is Carrie. Thanks for joining me today. Well, this year when it came time to planting my garden, I just was so preoccupied with other things that I forgot to film it. So now I'd like to bring you along for a quick update on where everything stands in all of my gardens. I believe I showed you in a previous video how we spent a weekend extending the fence around the garden to encompass all of the garden beds. It's working out very well so far. Can't say so much for some of the beds, like the ones over here that don't have any fencing around them. They've fallen prey to the rabbits. Oh, and there's my helper. So let's start our tour of the garden here. You can hear the birds are very happy today. It's actually a lovely day. It's overcast, so it's not too hot. All right, our first bin here, I have some cucumbers. And then we have our early summer peppers. Those will be yellow peppers. And then right on red, Sugar Rush peach. And then these last two bins here are shishito peppers. We have some potatoes, some strawberries, two more bins of shishito peppers. I bet you can tell which are my favorite peppers. We have two here of Sweetie Snack Mix. They are cute little mini peppers. They're delicious. Some jalapeno and some early summer peppers. Those are again the same yellow peppers that we planted over here. And some dill, which I use for my pickles. We've been having some issues, I'm sure you can see the leaves here, with cucumber bugs and with the squash moths. So we've had to put down some diatomaceous earth around the bottom of the plants and spray, and I think we've been successful in warding them off. I'm going to have to put a little bit more down now because we've had some rain. But last year they just decimated my crops, and this year I think we've caught them in time. I think what I'll do is just kind of walk around the outside of the garden. So in this unit here we have all of Andrew's potatoes. Andrew, did you plant white or red potatoes? So these are white potatoes. And then here we have just some random peas in a bucket. These are some of my summer squash, green summer squash. And you can see the base of that plant. The moth itself, when the larva hatches, it hatches inside. It gets inside of the plant itself, and then it burrows out. You can see how it's split the trunk. But the plant still looks healthy, so I'm hoping we caught it in time. Got some black cherry tomatoes along the trellis. Over here we have some butternut squash on the outside and some kale in the middle. And some vegetable spaghetti squash on the outside here. Some nice flowers. And my little cucamelon. My granddaughters love those. Got two very healthy looking zucchini plants. Here we have some acorn squash and some summer squash yellow. Let's check the back side. Yeah, I'm not seeing eggs, so I think we were successful, but we have tons of ants. They get up and eat everything. We have beautiful flowers here. And I have planted corn in here. Nothing yet. There's some fennel, a couple of watermelons, and some cantaloupe. Over here we have some bumblebee mixed cherry tomatoes, some onions, and chocolate cherry tomatoes. Sure you can hear the jet flying over. Super Sweet 100 tomatoes, some more onions, and some beets. And we have moved all of our raspberries from the ground, and we've placed them in pots, and we've brought them inside the garden. I think we have 6 raspberry, got 3 or 4 blueberry, and a boysenberry. It took me a minute there, I forgot what it was. Okay, so in our tomatoes, I have 3 big beds of the slicers, or the paste tomatoes. This bed here is a Grappellini. You'll notice I did a lot of companion planting. So each bed has an herb in it. Some of them have herbs and flowers. And also my green stock, which I'm very excited about, is full of companion flowers that are great for deterring the bugs. So I've got nasturtium, calendula, some marigold, and on the top I have some lettuce. But I think between the birds and the squirrels and the chipmunks, they've eaten most of the lettuce. This tomato bed here is Roma tomato. And then here, this is a new tomato we're trying this year called Striped German. You can see there's some basil and some onions at the end of the bed. Over here we have beans, green beans, and a bed of onion. We have some strawberries and my little bee water fountain and the butterflies. This bed here is full of peas. And then here we have some tomatillas, some shallots, and some celery. And finally, our bed of carrots. Over behind the greenhouse, our asparagus bed is doing very well. It's starting to go to seed, and that's okay. We've had quite a few feeds from it. Same with our rhubarb. We've got some random onions in there. This year when I got some sweet potato plants, I cut some slips and soaked them in water until we got some sprouts, and then I've planted them. So we'll try and do a late crop of sweet potatoes. These 3 buckets here have the sweet potatoes in them. Apologize for the barking. It's my dog, the dog next door. This is my strawberries. So I planted these in this small green stalk, and they won't flower or fruit until next year. So what I'll do is next year I will probably put them in the larger green stalk, and then it will be just full of strawberries. Of course, we have some rosemary and some mint. Over here, Andrew's grapes are starting to do well. And then I had some extra zucchini plants, so I just stuck them in these pots here. A couple of different kinds of cabbage in this bed. A couple of flowers. The squirrels have dug up some of these, so I had to replace it with a few things. With some garlic here, which is starting to show signs of being ready for picking. And then my morning glory, which is doing quite nicely. I need to spend some time in the greenhouse and do a bit of cleanup. Just a few things left in here. Got it's called bunny tail grass. I've got to find a home for that, and some oregano. These are some straw flowers. That's some eucalyptus and some gomphrena. So I typically like to keep some of these flowers in the greenhouse because, as I said, when the chipmunks and the squirrels dig everything up, I have something to replace it with. Got a little bit of lemon, basil, and sage in here. But we also keep a cherry tomato, one of each of the cherry tomatoes that we plant in the garden, in the greenhouse. And they do so well in here. And then I have 2 extra in here, ones that I didn't put in the garden. They're called spoon tomatoes. And they are the tiniest of a tomato, and my granddaughters just love them, so I always make sure I have 2 of those plants for them. This year we added a few more fruit trees to the property. They don't look like much now, but they are alive, and they are getting their roots. So maybe next year, maybe, most likely the year after that, we'll see some fruit. But this is a peach tree. This is another peach tree. This is a pear tree. And this is a nectarine tree. And then this is new. I've never had one of these before. It's a berry bush. We also have some more established fruit trees on this side of the property, except this one here, this was a pear tree we bought last year, and I think, Andrew, we're going to have to replace this one. I think it's, no. So I'll have to maybe this weekend, let's head out and see what we can find to replace that. Yeah. And then here we have an apple tree. We have a cherry tree, and then another apple tree. I don't know whether it was a bad winter, a bad spring, but we're just not seeing the flowering There are some little fruits on here. I don't know if you can see that. But we're just not having a great year with our fruit trees.
They're nice and healthy. They're just not giving us any fruit.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's a good sign then. At least we know they're not dead. These are my 2 hibiscus plants that we brought from Innisfil with us, and they're doing so well. They love this spot. The only problem is we're talking about getting a generator, a Generac, because we lose power a lot here, and they will most likely have to put it right over here, either where the hibiscus are or where that lily is, so we may have to do some moving. The front garden's starting to fill in nicely. Slowly adding more perennials every year. Got some beautiful daisies that are coming out. I've got some poppies in the back there and some violas up front and pansies. Got that one hydrangea, and from that last year I took a clipping and propagated it, and this is what the result was, so that's doing well. My lupins are doing wonderful. Gonna have to come out and do some deadheading so we get another round of flowers. Peonies are so beautiful, but they don't last very long. And I don't like to bring them in the house because they're full of ants, which you need to help them bloom. Got some beautiful phlox and a hosta. And I think this is my most favorite annual, the Supertunia Vista Bubblegum. They are amazing. If I show you back in about another month, this entire area will be flush with all of these. It's just gorgeous. Have some straw flowers, some statice, my Chinese maple with a Johnny jump up right in the middle of it. I'm not going to pull it. I love those. Took a real hit this winter, so we're going to have to come up with a plan for the winter time for that plant. Have more lupin in there. Some zinnias, some more phlox, more peonies, some statice. Can't remember what that flower was. Guess we'll wait when it blooms and I'll be able to tell you. I got some more lavender, lots of Johnny jump ups, some more lavender, some lilies back there, lots of little pansies, and some more lupins. My little front garden pots. Every morning we come out and we have to fill the dirt back in again because the chipmunks dig in them. But we found this really neat new plant, this heather plant. Well, it's not new, but it's new to us, and it's very pretty. It appears to be very hardy, so it's a nice addition to my little planters. Andrew made these for me. These beautiful little cedar planters. So our garden's out front. Andrew and I have been discussing about maybe taking them out. Hey, Andrew, moving them in the back. Yeah, they're just not doing so well out here, and they're so far away from a water source that I don't think they get properly watered, but they're not doing so well this year, and it's not the easiest when I'm cutting the grass. So I think we might just move them and take them in the backyard and use them as part of our vegetable garden. But this bed is full of dahlias and one random zinnia because one of the dahlias got dug up. This is full of 2 types of daisies. Some more zinnias starting to come out. Over on this side, we have some more zinnias and some snapdragons. And then over here, our beautiful new addition. Saw this magnolia tree when we were out shopping one day. We decided we needed it. It's absolutely gorgeous. My larch tree is doing fantastic. I call it my Dr. Seuss larch tree because it's got a little bit of a crazy trunk on it. But look at all this new growth for this year. You can see the lighter fronds there. That's all new growth. This thing is doing so well. All my hostas up the side of the house. May or may not have run into some of them last week with the lawnmower. A little thinner than they were. The last of the lilacs on this side of the house have all finished blooming. They were so beautiful this year. On my hill here, just trying to have like a random, I'm filling it up with perennials, and whenever my neighbors are thinning out their plants, They know what I'm trying to do up here, so they're always asking if I want more, which I never say no to. Lots of hostas in the front. My zebra grass came back beautiful. Some bleeding hearts that were just transplanted. Some Lisianthus over here. Some Scottish thistle, some more hosta, a couple of little trees. Some salvia. So up here, here's another good example of what the rabbits do. These are Lavitera here. But look at that one. You see how it's all chewed down to nothing? It did look like that yesterday. Another one chewed down to nothing. But this is exciting along here. That plant right there and there. That's my horseradish. It's coming along very nicely. And then further along the hill over here, we have some salvia. This right here was a poppy. I know it looks terrible right now, but it's green on the bottom. So it is coming back to life. All of my lily shrubs. There's some more salvia back there. And then up here, 3 more horseradish over here that's doing well. Excited about that. Another Scottish thistle. And then all of this patch here, this is all different types of mint. And I just leave it and it spreads like wildfire. A couple of random poppies back here. Every time they start to come up, the rabbits get them. And then these beds at the back of the house here, I put some of the larger flowers in here. So things like the cosmos, because they get quite big. The zinnia, some bee balm, some dianthus. And there's a couple of lilies back here. I don't worry too much about this garden because the things in there are quite large, but the rabbits just destroy, for some reason, this garden here. My lilies at the side of the shed here look really nice. My lavender plants, they're all new this year. They're doing very well. Here's another example of rabbit carnage. This was a dahlia. Now it's not much of anything. We also have a chipmunk that lives in these 2 beds here. Loves to come and dig out. Actually, Andrew just filled up that right in here. There's a massive hole. We found that this morning. These are what we call Andrew's flower beds. He likes to choose the flowers that go in here. This lily plant here is doing very well. You can see all the new offshoots on over here. I think what I might do is, once it's bloomed, maybe split it up a bit and move it to some other garden beds. And there's more of this heather plant that we found. It looks so nice, and back here the sun is so unforgiving that we like to find plants that are hardy, that can take the sun and the heat. Andrew built me these 2 deck boxes the year before. And I love them out here, but as you can see all the dirt around here, Andrew was just fixing them because do you think it's chipmunks that's doing it? Like, they just come and dig everything right up. And these are a Gomphrena. And over here, same thing, another big planting of Gomphrena over here. All right, so that's kind of a rundown of the garden and where everything is at. So far so good, with the exception of what we have to fix every morning from the squirrels. Yeah. And then not the squirrels, the chipmunks, but it is what it is. That's where we live, and so we share our space with them. So thanks a lot for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.
Bye for now.
We hope you enjoyed watching our video. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to help us grow our channel. Thanks so much for watching.